We are getting mixed signals tonight from the White House about President Trump's latest demand that the Russia collusion probe be terminated. Early in the day, the president called on Attorney General Jeff Sessions to pull the plug on that investigation on Twitter, but the walkback began shortly thereafter. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts starts us off tonight, as he often does, from the North Lawn. Good evening, John.
Brett, good evening to you. And some late-breaking news regarding the possibility of an interview of President Trump by Robert Mueller. The president's outside legal team weeks ago had sent Mueller a list of conditions for an interview as to what they would and would not agree to. Well, now they finally heard back. Fox News has learned that special counsel Robert Mueller has not agreed to demands from President Trump's attorneys to limit questioning to matters of collusion, that he still wants to ask questions regarding obstruction of justice and a few other topics. One concession from Mueller: according to sources, he has agreed to reduce the number of questions from his initial list of 49 and is willing to accept some answers in writing, though others he still wants oral answers to. Sources say talks with the special counsel continue, but add there is a long way to go. Rudy Giuliani told Fox News his inclination is still to say no to an interview, but that President Trump wants him to keep talking with Mueller. News of the Mueller response followed a tweet this morning in which President Trump criticized the investigation in his strongest language yet. The president tweeting, "This is a terrible situation, and Attorney General Jeff Sessions should stop this rigged witch hunt right now before it continues to stain our country any further." The White House was quick to proclaim the president was only airing his frustration, not telling Sessions what to do.
The president is stating his opinion. He's stating it clearly, and he's certainly expressing the frustration that he has with the level of corruption that we've seen from people like Jim Comey, Peter Strzok, Andrew McCabe.
The president may have simply been blowing off steam, as he has done many times in the past, but the net effect was to put the spotlight squarely back on the Russia investigation. Democrat Adam Schiff on Twitter proclaimed the statement was an attempt to obstruct justice, hiding in plain sight. Even Maine's Republican Senator Susan Collins found the tweet ill-advised.
There's clearly no cause for firing Mr. Mueller, and I don't think it's going to happen. The president's tweet is unfortunate. I think it's inappropriate for him to be commenting on an ongoing investigation.
The president's lead outside counsel, Rudy Giuliani, thought it necessary to clarify the president's intent.
He's established a clear sort of practice now that he expresses his opinions on Twitter. He used the word should, he didn't use the word must, and there was no presidential directive that followed it.
As the White House was dialing back the president's tweet, it was ramping up the trade dispute with China, announcing today that the next $200 billion in Chinese goods to be targeted by tariffs could be taxed at a rate of 25%, more than double the initially proposed 10%.
The bottom line is the president's going to continue to hold China responsible for their unfair trade practices. This has gone on for long enough, and he's going to do something about it.
China's response was swift and sharp.
U.S. pressure and blackmail will not work. If the U.S. takes further measures that escalate the situation, China will definitely fight back.
The White House calculates the battle this way. China buys about $130 billion worth of goods from the United States, whereas the United States buys more than $500 billion worth of goods every year from China. So in an escalating tit-for-tat when it comes to tariffs, the U.S. believes it's got far more bullets in its ammunition stores than China does. Brett?
John Roberts live on the North Lawn. John, thanks.